Hi, everyone. My name is Justaria, the demystified herbalist, and welcome to episode 13 of the Dear Herbalist podcast titled Herbal Medicine is Not Scientifically Studied. Dum, dum, dum. If you are new here, welcome. And if you have been tuning in, thank you so much. I appreciate your support as always. Today, we are going to discuss a common myth that I have seen across the internet, as well as I've heard a lot of people say. So let's get into it. What is this myth that you are talking about, Justaria? Well, the myth of herbal medicine is not scientifically studied. So it is my hope today to give you some information and prove my case that herbal medicine does not lack scientific evidence. It has been studied, and there are tons of studies out there. So hear me out. So let's break into the common myth that herbal medicine lacks scientific evidence. It is not scientifically studied. What is the reality? The reality is this. There are tons of scientific studies out there that have investigated the therapeutic properties of herbs. This research is covered across areas such as pharmacology, biochemistry, and several clinical trials. Maybe hundreds of thousands of clinical trials have taken place on these herbs. Many herbs have demonstrated beneficial effects and are used in mainstream medicine, and we'll talk about that a little bit further down in the podcast. But let me be clear, okay? This is not a herbal medicine against the pharmaceutical company. This is herbal medicine presenting her case that, first of all, she's the original medicine, and you'll hear that across all of my podcast episodes, all right? But not only that is she the original medicine, she has been heavily studied. And it's important for people to know and understand that, especially new herbalists that are in the field. Because the moment that you say, hey, I'm an herbalist, I'm interested in herbal medicine or whatever, you're going to start just as much people that are going to come to you looking for help. You're going to have some of those people that come to you like, it's not backed by science. Nobody wants to hear about that. It hasn't been studied, all of these other things. And if you're new, and you don't have the proof, then it's going to be hard to defend yourself or even defend your recommendations. So let me give you some more tools as a new herbalist and even as a seasoned herbalist. Let me give you some more tools to put in your arsenal. All right. Now, why is it important to know? Okay. First of all, knowledge of scientific studies allows you to make informed decisions about the selection selection and recommendation of herbal remedies. By understanding the available evidence, you can choose herbs that have been proven to work for specific health conditions, which improve the likelihood that you'll have a positive outcome for yourself, for your family, and for your clients. Another reason it's important to know is that there's scientific research out there that helps the herbalist to understand the safety profile of different herbs, the potential interactions with medications, and any contraindications. Okay, this information is very important to know because you want to make sure that you're using herbs in a safe way, especially if you are recommending remedies to other people. So we make a lot of predictions in herbal medicine. These studies and this information gained from this research can give us a pretty clear idea on what this herb can do, as well as, because you don't want to just look at the herbal medicine research. You also want to look at the human body research on what the human body can do as well and blend those two together. So based on what we know of the human body, the research available, we can make predictions. And then based on what we know about the plant body and the research available, we can make predictions. Okay. And it's also important if you have clients that are taking prescription medications, because the reality of it is that some people, they're not going to want to let them go. And so you want to make safe recommendations, and you want people to feel comfortable telling you, hey, this is the prescription drugs that I'm on. Okay, versus them trying to hide it because they know you're going to say get rid of it, which you should never say, hey, immediately stop, because you don't want to get yourself in trouble, whether it's true or not. You don't want to get yourself in trouble. Let me just put that side note right there. Okay, you just say, hey, if I was you, I would recommend, or this is what I would do. But you never tell someone to immediately stop their medications, because that can get yourself in trouble, and it could also hurt them as well. So you want to be careful in that area. That's just a little side note. Anyway, Another reason why it's important to know about scientific research as it pertains to herbal medicine is because you want to enhance your credibility as an herbalist. You want to know, you really want other people to know that you've studied it, especially if you're a self-taught herbalist. Self-taught, if you tell somebody you're self-taught as an herbalist, they're going to look at you sideways. Let me just let you know that now. They're waiting to hear I have a 20-year degree from the top herbal school in Istanbul, Turkey somewhere. That's what they want to hear in order to be like, oh, they know what they're really talking about. you know. But if you know scientific studies, you can show, you can prove, it enhances your credibility. It also helps you to be able to communicate more effectively to your clients about whatever protocol that you are recommending. You have the evidence to back that protocol. All right. Now let's dive in a little deeper. Where can you find all of these studies? Where can you find them? Now, there are several reputable websites where you can find these scientific studies on herbs and their effectiveness. So go grab your pens, your notebooks, and let's go ahead and get into some of these. All right. The first one is PubMed. Now, PubMed is a comprehensive database of biomedical literature, including a vast collection of research articles on herbal medicine and phytotherapy, which is plant therapy. It covers studies from various medical and scientific journals. I use this one often to kind of help me with my own personal research for my books, textbooks, and things that I'm working on. And it's been proven to be a really great resource for me. A lot of the studies that you will see on herbal medicine in PubMed are from across the waters. All right. No surprise there, right? All right. Another website is Science Direct, and Science Direct provides access to a large database of scientific and technical research articles, including studies related to herbal medicine. It covers a wide range of disciplines, including pharmacology and biochemistry. Another website is Google Scholar. Now, Google Scholar is a freely accessible search engine that indexes scholarly articles, including those on herbal medicine. It provides a broad overview of research from various disciplines. Another one is HerbMed. HerbMed is an evidence-based herbal database that provides information on the scientific evidence supporting the use of herbs for various health conditions. It includes summaries of clinical studies, safety information, and expert opinions. Very helpful there. Another website is the National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health. Now, this website is a part of the National Institutes of Health, and it provides information on complementary and integrative health approaches, including herbal medicine. The website also includes research findings. You can also find clinical trials over there and resources for consumers, your clients, and healthcare professionals. All right. So those are just a few. It's not an exhaustive list, but those are just a few websites that have information on where you can find articles and research that has been done on herbal medicine. So I encourage you to jot those down and go begin to do your own research on each one and grab some articles and read there. Now, I did tell you earlier on in the podcast that I would talk about, the pharmaceutical medicines that do have their origins in herbal remedies. And so we'll talk about that now. All right, so there are many modern medicines that have their origins in herbal remedies, and this basically means that there are some pharmaceutical drugs that are derived from or inspired by plant compounds. So let's look at a few of these, and let's start with one common one, which most people know, aspirin. So the pharmaceutical drug aspirin has an herbal root of willow bark, and so the active compound salicin was isolated from willow bark, which led to the development of what we know now as aspirin. Morphine is another one. It is derived from the latex of opium poppy. Opium has a long history of use in traditional medicine for pain relief. All right. And artemisinin all right, which is used in malaria treatment. It's a compound found in sweet wormwood is used in artemisinin. All right. And sweet wormwood is good for a lot of things, including parasites. That's just a next one. And there are so many more. Digitalis is another pharmaceutical drug that has an herbal root of foxglove. And the cardioglycosides from foxglove plants have been used historically for heart conditions, which is also an amazing thing as well. So as you can see, there are several hundreds of thousands of pharmaceutical drugs that could potentially have herbal compounds in their formulations. So keep that in mind as well. I just wanted to kind of give that as a side note in this podcast. Now, as another side note, scientific basis and regulation, I wanted to talk a little bit about that as well, because there are organizations all across the globe that regulate, that test herbal medicines for quality and efficacy. So I wanted to give you a few of those depending on where you are in the world so that you know which agency regulates, because the other part of the science is that people say that it's not only is it not backed by science, but it's not regulated. So I wanted to kind of talk about some of those agencies as well that study as well as regulate herbal medicine. So in the United States, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration regulates herbal products as dietary supplements. Manufacturers must adhere to good manufacturing practices to ensure quality and safety of their products. If you are in the European Union, the European Medicines Agency oversees the regulations of herbal medicines in the European Union. The Committee on Herbal Medicinal Products assess the safety and efficacy of herbal medicines, and products approved by this organization receive a traditional herbal medicinal product registration. If you are in the UK, the Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency is responsible for regulating herbal medicines in the UK. This organization evaluates the safety, quality, and efficacy of herbal products, and registration or authorization is required for marketing herbal medicines in the UK. If you are in Canada, Health Canada regulates natural health products, including herbal medicines, through the Natural and Non-Prescription Health Products Directorate. Products must be licensed, and companies must follow good manufacturing practices for the manufacturing of their herbal products. If you are in Australia, the Therapeutics Goods Administration oversees the regulation of herbal medicines in Australia. They also evaluate the safety, quality, and efficacy of therapeutic goods, including herbal products, before they can be legally marketed. If you are in China, the State Administration for Market Regulation in China is responsible for the regulation of herbal medicines. And PubMed also has a lot of studies from China as well as India, which I'm going to give you their information next. They have a lot of good studies as well on PubMed. Now, if you are in India, the Ministry of Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy, Yanai, Siddha, and Homeopathy in India oversees the regulation of traditional systems of medicine, including Ayurveda and Siddha, which often involve the use of herbal remedies. And last but not least, in Germany, the Federal Institute for Drugs and Medical Devices oversees the regulation of herbal medicines. So, is herbal medicine scientifically studied? Absolutely. Is it regulated? Absolutely. Like I said before, scientific research plays a crucial role in understanding the bioactive compounds within herbs, their mechanisms of actions, and the potential therapeutic effects. This research contributes to the evidence-based practice and informs regulatory guidelines for herbal products. So I encourage you to take a look at the websites that I have provided with you or provided to you, and look over some of the studies, especially on the herbs that you're either considering using or recommending to others. Even if you're currently using some, this research can help you as well. If you like what you heard, please stay tuned for more informative podcasts. You can hear this and future podcasts on Spotify and YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right. Also follow me on all social media sites at The Demystified Herbalist. And if you're looking for some herbal products to help you address your health needs, head on over to my website at thedemystifiedherbalist.square.site. And until next time, family, shalom.